Hi, YouTube. It's Lisa Bean. I'm coming at you with my month 24 2-year surge anniversary. I woke up today and I just feel great. So I wanted to make a video. Um, so I'll start. My surgery was July 1st, 2013, weighing in at 266 pounds day of surgery. My highest weight recorded was 274, 275. I forget now. Um, but the day of surgery it was 266. 266. Um, my lowest weight recorded was in December, and I was trying to write it down. I think it was 155 or 156 was the lowest weight. My weight that I came to you last month, I think was 168. And I weigh in today on my 2-year surge anniversary at 168. My goal weight was 170, which I attained last year. Um, and I have maintained below that now for 2 years. So I'm up about 12 pounds from my lowest, which again, my lowest was brief. I mainly stayed around 158 to 160. So from that, I'm up about, 8 or 10 pounds really. And I know last month I wanted so hard to take those pounds off for my 2-year surge anniversary, and that didn't happen. I did go down. I was on vacation last week, so I, you know, I just let it be. But I know I was down to like 165. I believe some of this up to the 168 is like water weight. I don't think it's going to stay there, but hey, you never know. But what I wanted to bring and say, on this 2-year anniversary and like reflecting back over the last year is I can finally tell you the number does not definitely roll me. Like, I know that I've said at one point, and I probably had jinxed myself, but I know at one time in one of my videos, I had said that my body would probably go to 170 because that's where it seemed to like. And, I don't know if I was just trying to put that in my head. So I would, if I saw that number, if I saw 170 on the scale, that it wouldn't affect me that much. But in all honesty, the number doesn't affect me anymore because it's just that. It's a number. It fluctuates continuously. It goes up and it goes down. It goes up and it goes down. As long as it's not going up in a 20-pound direction, that's a different story because then there's something that's going on. But if it's fluctuating here and there 10 pounds, it's not the biggest deal. I mean, I don't even know if 156 was supposed to be my final weight. One thing my surgeon had said was that your body was going to go to the lowest weight it was going to be. And most likely, 80 to 90% of the people will go up at least 20 pounds from their lowest weight. And I think I've mentioned this into a video prior that most people will gain their weight after their second year. And although seeing the scale move, and it does play a mind game with you, I look at the bigger picture. I have continuously exercised these last 2 years. And I'm not even bullshitting you. Like I have consecutively every day exercised for the past 2 years. Have I missed a day or two here and there for the week? Yes. And for most of you that, I usually take off exercising, like a regimented exercise on the weekend. But I'm usually doing something, running around with the kids, going somewhere, doing something of that nature. But my regular exercise routine, I usually do Monday through Friday. So there were a lot of times that if I did skip during the week, I would pick up a Saturday or Sunday. But for the most part, I have continuously exercised for these past 2 years. And within the last 2 weeks, I had recently stepped it up a notch and joined kickboxing, which is so funny because as I thought that I was exercising and being consistent for the last 2 years, when I took this martial arts kickboxing class, it really was a slap in the face because I have been crippled every class I take. And right now, I have this ice pack on my knee because whatever I did last night or turned the wrong way or whatever the hell I did kicking the bag, my knee is my left knee is swollen. And last week, my right knee, or the week before, because I was on vacation, my right knee, I twinged something in there. My wrists have been sore from punching the bag. Um, I sweat like you cannot even imagine. Like you cannot even imagine. My whole shirt, my face is just sweltering. And it is a workout and a half, like way beyond what I had thought. And definitely pressing me to my fullest. But I love it. I actually really like it a lot. I'm definitely not a Zumba girl or, all those different classes. It's just not me. But this kickboxing class has definitely made a connection with myself. I swear the guy's out to cripple us completely. And I can't even bitch because the instructor that is the instructor for the kickboxing and jujitsu, he's one of the instructors, he is 51. There's a guy in the class that kicks ass and takes names, and he's 62 years old. So I can't even bitch about it because I did the one day and then he told me his age and I was like, I better shut up. So but it's definitely challenging without a doubt. Um, some of the things over this past year, I could definitely tell you, um, some people ask me and my friends ask me what was the easiest. And I equate this surgery almost to like having a baby. I can tell you the first year for me was pretty easy. For I think most people, it's pretty easy. You're going, and I think I said this again in one of my first videos. You are going to lose the weight. You are the first year. There's no doubt you are going to lose the weight. Whether it comes off quickly or slowly or intermittent, because I was a slower loser, without a doubt, the weight comes off. And it's like having a newborn. The newborn at first, you're always like, oh my God, this is so hard. It's such a change. Oh my God, what do I do? Blah, blah, blah. But then when your child becomes 2 or 3, you're like, you reminisce back to the baby newborn stage and you're like, shit, that was easy. They either stayed in their high chair or in their crib or their playpen or their swing, and I could do this and I could do that. And I wasn't chasing them. And now they're a toddler. They're all over the fucking place. And it becomes harder to manage, right? So I equate that to my second year of surgery because it definitely has been more of a struggle than it was the first year. By far a struggle in many different aspects, right? Because I think part of you, your old self shines the fuck through. I'm not even going to say just for me. I don't care who you are. Somewhere, somehow, your old you came through somewhere. And whether you got it under control, you didn't get it under control, you're in the midst of trying to understand how to get control, it is going to happen to you. It is. And there's probably very few people that it doesn't. And I can guarantee you, even those people, somewhere, their old self shined through somewhere. And for me, it definitely did. Some old eating habits came back into play, some boredom eating, some overeating, uh, some mindless eating, uh, enjoying food too much for the taste and the comfort. Um, but, with that said, when I really look at the whole picture, overall, I've done phenomenal. And I'm not going to take that away from myself. I have done phenomenal. Because most of the time, sure, do I eat shitty here and there? Yes. And I've said it from the beginning of my journey. I will always eat shitty here and there. Because you know why? I love it. And I love food. And I love to try different things. And whether it's fatty or greasy or whatever the hell it is, if I want to do it and I allow myself to do it, I'm going to enjoy it. And I said that from the beginning. I probably always will. It's who I am. It's who I am. But the most important part out of this whole journey is that those choices don't overrule me day to day. So 90% of the time, I'm eating clean, I'm eating better, I'm making better choices. And those times that I'm not, fuck it. It's life. And the exercise I feel is like one of the most important parts of the journey. I mean, to just keep yourself, I did this again to be to be physically fit. And I did this again not to be that fat skinny person either. You know, I did the surgery to get the most out of it all the way around. All the way around. So it wasn't just to look thin, it was to be healthy in every way possible. And I'm doing that. I'm very proud of that. Completely proud of that. So when I do make choices, and I'll tell you, I can eat. I mean, from the beginning, knock on wood, from the beginning, there wasn't anything that made me ill. I was one of those folks like Phil and I forgot who the other person is that from surgery did not vomit. Did not vomit. And I could eat everything. I could tell you when I was on vacation, I ate a greasy ass egg roll where the grease was running down my hand like this. Took down like a champ. Didn't bother me in the least. I can eat rice. I can eat pasta. I could eat steaks. I could definitely eat. I don't envy because I kind of sometimes feel that it's impossible. But for people who say they can't eat more than 3 ounces of food at a clip at 2 years out, your surgeon must have cinched that bitch up because I can definitely eat a good amount at what time. I could definitely eat over 8 ounces of food. I definitely can eat 4 ounces of steak, a portion of broccoli, and maybe some potato on the side all at one time. Absolutely. I can definitely eat 3 eggs right now at a clip, no problem, and a piece of low carb toast or something easily. Maybe fit in a bacon or two here and there. So I can eat a good amount of food. I could definitely chow down. And if it's sliders, carbs, processed carbs, popcorn, um, goldfish, shit like that, I could definitely eat a ton of that shit. I could plow down through a half a bag of skinny pop in no time flat. So, those are the things that I got to really watch myself about. But again, with all said, I've been kicking ass and taking names. I'm very happy with what I've accomplished, and I definitely smile when I make better choices when I can make crappy choices. It's definitely an NSV for me. There are times that I'll catch myself at night sitting down and having something to eat. I can tell you since I started doing this kickboxing class, it's from 7 to 8. I get home about 8:30, and I'm fucking hungry. I am starved, and I had eaten dinner at 5. But I get home and I'm woofing shit down, and I know eating like 8:45. I'll grab some like yogurt with granola. I mean, I'm pretty freaking hungry. Um, so I don't know if it's the best thing that late at night. Again, I'm making better choices of what I'm eating, but I'm fucking hungry. And it's not thirst and it's not my head. It's fucking hunger because I worked my ass off. And that's another thing. Like it blows my mind when and people still think that, you don't get hungry or you shouldn't. Or it's water. I drink over 100 ounces of water a day. So trust me when I tell you, I'm not thirsty. And I've been consistent with my water intake. I have a system down. I usually do these are 32 ounce. I usually do a minimum of 3, usually 4. Sometimes I get more water where I'm like, holy shit, I think I'm drinking too much water. Um, Another problem that probably crept in the second year is definitely alcohol, wasteless calories. Um, I'm trying to pull the reins back on that too. And again, just for my own personal reasons, you know? So overall, I think I've done well. I know I keep saying this because I don't even know what else to say. I'm just fucking ecstatic that it's 2 years. I feel like it's flown by completely. Um, I'm up for starting this third year challenge. And this year is going to be focused on continuing the choices and the food that I'm doing. Um, kind eating a little more clean, and clean as less processed foods. Because one of the things that I noticed all the time with me is my sodium is pretty high. So, um, eating cleaner with less processed foods and really building on my muscular and cardiovascular health. That is definitely going to be my major focus this year. I have no goals to set, like, because I always thought goals were made to be fucking broken. So there's no goals. There's no like, oh, I want to accomplish this in 2015. No, there's none of that. Because you know what? I'm going to do what I'm going to do. I know what I got to do, so I'm just going to do it. So it's not going to be weighing in what I didn't do or what I did accomplish or whatever, because whatever I do is more than I ever did, in the past couple of years. So that's cool with me. It's just continuing, staying consistent with what I'm doing. And if I stay consistent and I stay with what I know to do, um, everything should just fall into place. One of the things, there is another thing that I wanted to just focus on too, is I still do track all my food. What I have gotten away from too was I've been doing a lot of eyeballing up. Um, and it's funny because you think like, one of the things my nutritionalist had said from the beginning was the folks that stay consistent, the folks that do well 2, 3, 4 years out are the folks that continuously measure, weigh all their food. And sometimes I've gotten to a point lately that I've been eyeballing my portions. And I tested myself a couple times, like 2 weeks ago. And I took what I thought was 4 ounces. And I took the side dish that I had, I took what I thought was 2 ounces. And I stood there and I'm like, you know what? Let me get the measuring fucking cup and get my scale out and see. And it was well over what I put on my plate thinking that it was. So definitely adding on to calorie intake that I wasn't even aware on. So I was just fooling my fucking self with what I was putting in for the last month, because I've definitely the last month or two I've been tracking but eyeballing a lot of my portions, which I probably for the last 2 months have fooled my fucking self to no end. So getting reining back in on being a little stricter on the portion control, because the portion size can definitely creep back in without you realizing. So other than that, it's all good. So I will give you another update in another month or so to see how things are going. And for anyone looking into doing this surgery, it could be very daunting at first. I mean, there's just the shit that you read, and you can watch so many videos, and there's people that have no issues. There's people that have tons of issues. There's people that met their goal quickly. There's people that haven't met their goal. There's people that just made their goal. I mean, there's just a roundabout, but you are the only person who could determine what's going to happen to you. I mean, surgical issues and things like that are beyond your control. You can't help that. But as far as how much weight you lose and how you keep it off is completely in your control. So good luck to everyone who's just starting. Happy anniversary, surgiversary, whatever you want to call it, to the people who are around my time. I know there's a shitload of yous. And I hope that you're just as happy as I. So have a great day, everyone, and see you next time.